builder, craftsman with his own business, Stories in Grain, Shawn Anderson. Hi, Shawn.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Can't complain.
So, Stories in Grain. When I first heard about your business this past weekend, and I thought Stories in Grain. Well, that's got to be either alcohol related or wood related.
Yeah,
it's wood.
Yeah, it's kind of a pun on wood figure and the grain of the wood.
Well, you brought some, I guess, pieces of your work, and we're going to see some of your work in just a moment. But how does someone get interested enough to create a career out of what I think started as a hobby?
Yes and no. My dad's a carpenter. He was a carpenter for Albion College for 45 years. So he kind of got me started. I went to Albion College, and then when I graduated, I worked under another artist that taught me a lot as well. So then I just slowly got into it and started this business about a year and a half ago, but I've been working under other people for a long time.
Cool. So I think the things you brought in are either cutting boards or
charcuterie boards. I just kind of wanted to show off some of the different grain patterns and different woods that we use. We only collect trees that have died naturally or fallen down. So I only take down dead trees essentially and turn them into furniture.
So is this what's called? This isn't quite a live edge, is it?
Yeah, that's a live edge, and that's called spalded. So that's actually bacteria gets into the wood. And it's actually a fungus, and breaks it down and creates all those cool colors. If you look on the back, there's even a really bright green spot, and that's all natural. So
cool.
It's kind of like nature's way of putting its art on my work before it, Normally, maple is just kind of white. So
yeah, charcuterie boards are really popular right now, and these are awesome for that. And these are handles.
Yeah. So that's cherry. That tree grew in Albion on 29 Mile Road. I got it from a farmer. It fell down in a storm. This came from Johnny's Tree Service, so this was actually probably a city tree of Jackson's. And the walnut there on the lowest was the Road Commission in Calhoun County took that down on 29, I think.
So is that not typical that someone like you would be using trees that have already been felled?
Yeah, 90% of woodworkers go to the hardware store to buy their lumber. I mill all my own and dry it all myself. So, and every step of the process is meant to enhance the environmental, quality of it. We don't destroy forest when we cut down trees. Everything, the ecosystems stay intact. Where even the sustainable wood that the forestry industry, spouts as sustainable is clear cut. They're destroying whole sections of the forest to bring you that wood. So,
So the ice storm was good for you.
Yeah, but the ice storm brought down a lot of smaller stuff, so I didn't actually get anything from the ice storm. But it storms, and I got a lot of wood last year out of the solar farm in Albion that's going in. They took down almost 800 acres. Oh
wow!
So,
and we've got some examples of your work that you brought along. Let's take a look. Tell us a little bit about some of the things we're looking at.
Yeah, that's a stump table. The base was actually found outside of the Marriott Hotel that got built here in Jackson a few years ago. And then the chairs are a telephone pole, a Western Red Cedar telephone pole that fell down on Cass Street in Albion, on Albion Concord Road at Albion.
Wow,
so,
you're intimately connected with your raw materials.
I have over 10,000 board feet, and I can tell you where almost every board came from.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's not all in my memory, but a bunch of it is.
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah, and that's a bed I made for a guy in Detroit. That wood actually came out of Detroit. And the drawers, there are 8 drawers in the bed, so there's tons of storage in that thing. Quite a project.
Shoot. That was my idea, drawers under the bed. But I'm glad someone's actually able to do something with that.
And that's a spalded table as well. Spalded is one of my kind of specialties. That's what this is.
Spalding?
Yeah, it's what.
That's the wood?
No, spalding can happen to any wood.
Oh, what it does?
It's the bacteria that gets in. But typically you can't find it. It's not commercially available, so you have to find it yourself and mill it and dry it.
Because someone wouldn't typically order that or look for that, would they?
I mean, You're only going to find it from a small
Right.
retailer like me. You go up to Johnson's Lumber, any of the other lumber supplies, and they're not going to have it.
Very unique.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Yeah, those are some walnut, they call them cookies. That's actually more of the round of the tree than it being, if you cut a tree into slabs of wood, this is more cutting around,
So it's not a like 90-degree cut across the trunk, is it?
Yeah, well, it'd be more of like a 90-degree cut across the trunk.
Okay.
So you can see that, the tree would be growing essentially upright.
You could count the rings. You know how
Yeah.
old these?
Yeah.
It looks like it started as a big tree.
Yeah, no, that one was quite a large tree. That was actually a piece from the top. I got that from an old woodworker friend. He's had it for like 30 years. He gave me a bunch of slabs when he got out of the business. So, and that's a coffee table that was built from some wood that was off of Albion College's campus. So if you're an Albion College alumni, that's up for sale.
Perfect.
So,
What's your favorite wood to work with?
I like spalded maple.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's the rarest that you can come across. Every time you open up a log, it gives you something different. It's, when you're sawmilling it, it's like Christmas morning.
And it's like a surprise for you. You get something like this green, and it's like bonus.
Yeah, and those colors last indefinitely in the wood. That's the natural oil you're
I
smelling
like
on
the
it.
smell.
I make a mix for a food safe oil for cutting boards. So
It does?
yeah,
Natural oil?
yeah,
So when I first saw your website, I was seeing, I think maybe I saw a story where you will go to someone's property and you will create furniture or whatever from trees that are growing on their property?
yeah. I call it my log to luxuries experience.
Log to luxuries.
Yes.
Okay.
So I come there, we go through your property, we look, I tell you, like this is your best option for your tree, this is going to give you your prettiest grain, or we can use something that's standing or dead or whatever you want. We take the tree down, I take it back, I mill it, I dry it, and we build you whatever you want. So, and you get you get to see the process all along. If you want, I can send you videos and me working on it, and it can be as intimate as you want of an experience. So.
And of course, those are your trees. They came from your front yard.
Yeah.
But I'm amazed that you know where all the other wood you use came from.
Well, when you put as much work into collecting the trees and drying them and moving them and cutting them, you get intimate with them.
So do we have a good selection of available and types of trees in our area?
Yeah, I deal a lot with maples, oaks, walnuts, cherries. I only take down local trees, but you find a lot of species that maybe were planted in a yard. Like last year I found a dogwood tree, and that's some of the hardest wood. I really didn't know what I had when I first grabbed it. But so you do find some unusual things that don't typically grow around here.
Yeah, you don't see, dogwood, I picture small, like a tree that's kind of small.
This one I got was probably, it was as
really?
big as my mill could take.
Huh.
And my mill will cut about a 30-inch log.
Is it only hardwoods that you can work with?
No, I work with softwoods too. Like cedar around here would be a good example of a softwood. But typically some of the softwoods aren't probably, like you're not gonna probably get something built out of pine unless you really love your tree. I'm not opposed to it, but
We've got a couple of more pieces that you've created.
Yeah, that's a table that goes against a wall, so it's connected. A guy wanted to add more space in his kitchen without actually adding more countertops, and he sits at it and can also use it as a workspace. So it doubled the space in his kitchen, the usable space. And it's really sturdy because it's tied to the wall, so you can't, bounce it around.
How big is that?
Oh, I want to say that's about 70 inches long.
Oh, wow.
I built that a few years ago, so.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah, that's walnut as well. That's spalded maple as well. The same, one of my favorites.
I'd never heard of that.
Yeah, because you don't find it. You know what I mean? It takes a tree sitting on the ground about 3 years to spald. So from the tree getting cut until I'm actually using it, it's sometimes a 7-year process.
Yikes, because all the things you talked about, cutting, milling, drying, happens automatically. That's got to happen with everything you do.
Yeah, and our drying process, I have a solar kiln, So we don't dry with any sort of artificial, heat sources, which saves you a lot of energy and makes it more environmentally friendly. But it also takes a little bit more time. You get better quality lumber though too.
All right, a couple more pieces to look at. This table, it's that live edge again.
Yeah, that's out of the same tree that's the one in your hand.
This?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I just got done with this piece. It's probably my nicest piece I've made thus far. So that stump came from a locust lane in Albion, a tree that fell down. It's a cherry tree, and that's a cherry top as well.
Is it the same tree
Yep.
for both pieces?
Yeah.
Wow, that looks amazing, and it looks very complicated, time-consuming, and expensive.
Yeah, that took me about a month, maybe a little longer. So.
Does someone commission that, like from their yard, or did you just?
So most of my work has been commission based, but right now I'm trying to build for the few art shows that I have coming up this summer.
Oh, art shows.
So-
Yeah, these are popular. These things are popular.
Yeah,
those-
I don't typically make cutting boards and sell them, but I'm probably going to start doing a little bit.
Yeah.
I just brought you those for samples and to show off some of the wood.
So you drag around big full-size pieces to this?
Yeah,
shows?
we're fully set up. I have tractors, trailers, sawmill, the
Oh,
whole
wow.
9 yards.
Tell me about this, because this really looks sharp. Did you do the whole thing or just the top?
So I did the top and I did the two ends. We bought the cabinet, but the two table ends, they sit at the one end so they have, a little spot in their kitchen to sit, and the other end is shelving. So that was made, but the cabinet itself was bought.
Looks like you have a fun job.
It is fun.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, hard work in it, but I have a good time.
If someone's interested in talking to you about maybe taking a tree from their yard into, I guess from stories to grain, they can contact you through the website?
Yeah, storiesandgrain.com. And, I get back to everyone that contacts me. So
Cool.
You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook.
The work looks
So-
great.
Well,
Nice
thank you.
job.
Yeah,
Best wishes for great success.
thank you. Yeah, no, it's been good thus far.
Well, thanks for coming in. Good to see you, Shawn.
Yeah, thank you.
The furniture builder and owner of Stories in Grain, Jackson's own Shawn Anderson.